Welcome to Lesson 2. I'm going to continue the concept of ergonomics, which I talked about in Lesson 1, but take it to the stage of preparation before you play. So we've got down all the facts about staying comfortable, avoiding injury, setting up comfortably. This portion of the lesson is really going to focus on exercises and stretching that you should do before you play, mostly to avoid injury, avoiding repetitive strain injuries, which I've had many. I've been fortunate enough to see a man named David Williams, Dr. David Williams, a sports chiropractor in New York City who treats a lot of pro drummers, dancers, athletes. I mean, this guy is amazing. Look him up if you can. So over a span of probably 10 or more years of messing myself up and then going to different chiropractors before him, I've learned a lot of tricks. I've learned exercises after I've been treated that I should do to warm up or get my body ready for drumming, and mainly to avoid repetitive strain or stress injuries. So I'm going to go over a bunch of them right now. These are things I do before I play, and it's important that I make that distinction, that I won't pick up a pair of sticks or sit at my throne or get my legs going until I've done these things. They've proven to be very valuable. And a lot of them, believe it or not, begin with a chair, the wall, or the floor. I'm going to cover all of them. Now, for the first part, I'm going to actually cover a chair. Now, I'm sitting in a regular chair, so there's nothing mysterious about this. I'm going to show you a stretching exercise that I do, which is very similar to what runners do. Actually, I've seen my friends who are avid runners do this same stretch, but I'm going to do it with a chair, and the reason is, something to lean on, basically, like you would lean on a table or anything, but picture it as your drum throne. So I'm using a regular chair as a drum throne. So this is the first thing. I'm going to stretch my legs to get ready to use them. Okay, I know it seems obvious. Now, if you're at your drum throne, I suggest putting your elbows onto your drum throne and put your left foot forward, your right foot a little bit in back, and then slowly bring your leg down, your right leg down, so you can feel the strain sort of in your shin muscles, like right here. You should feel that right away. And don't bounce on it. Just hold it like this for, maybe 30, 40 seconds or so. And then switch legs, of course. Left leg is in back. Lean in till you feel that strain on your left shin. And then when you're done with that, just slowly stand up to a comfortable position, shake it out. So that's for your legs. The next exercise I'm going to show you is for your hands. Now these are the basic vital ones. So I'm going to go into the more detailed ones about other muscles. But for the basics of your hands and feet, that was just for your legs, so you're ready to do some double bass drumming or even jazz if you were gonna keep time with your left leg, or whatever, fusion, doesn't matter. So the next thing is obviously your hands. Now he taught me this after screwing up my wrists a lot, and believe it or not, well, believe it really, I developed arthritis in my left wrist and tendonitis in my right, and it was bad enough where I had to get shots in both. And you can't see it, but there's actually a tiny little bone sticking out of here. But even with all that, with these exercises and some discipline, I really don't feel any pain when I play, and I play for a good amount of time. And a lot of it has to do with my grip, which I'll get into later. But going back to what I was talking about, it's your hands. So the first stretch is put your arms out, and we're going to do one hand at a time. So my right hand, if you're looking, I'm just moving it as if I was bouncing a basketball against the wall or throwing a ball against the wall, like dribbling against the wall. So I'm just moving my hand like this. Okay, I'm doing it slowly. And I was told it's best to do this about 50 times for each hand, just to make sure it's properly warmed up. Same thing with the left, same motion. Continue until you hit 50 each one. When you're done with that, just relax for a bit. Okay, so we've covered our hands and feet. So what's next? Your core. We're going to bring the chair back. This is a good exercise to get your core ready for some strain. And what you do for this exercise is put your arms up like this. Hold your arms up in the air for a good 40 seconds, just like this, sitting straight up, chest out. The next thing you do after 40 seconds is take your left leg, bring it up as far as you can without straining. Bring it up and down as many times as you can, but I usually stop at about 40 or 50. In fact, I would say just stop at 40 or 50. That's good enough. Just bring it up and down. And you can feel a bit of strain in your abdomen, and that's really what you want to do. You want to get your abdominal muscles ready, because especially if you're playing double bass like I am, they need to be in gear, and you need to actually hold your abdomen a bit when you're playing. That's the healthiest thing you can do, but I'll get into that later. So again, knees up, 40 times each leg. I'm gonna blow through this real quick just so you get an idea of the movement. So once you're done, slowly bring your arms down and relax. Okay, move your shoulders back, roll your shoulders a bit. Get back to a comfortable state. Okay, so that right there, those are the exercises you're going to do with a chair or standing. Now we're going to get to the wall exercises, and after that we're going to do the floor. And now we are going to go into the wall exercises. And I know that sounds kind of strange, but this first exercise, this is the one that the doctor gave me after I messed up my shoulder. And I messed up my shoulder by something I was talking about in my previous video, about having a cymbal right in front of me and constantly riding on that cymbal. It was a crash cymbal, constantly riding on it. And you notice that my arm is outstretched, which is unnatural, and I'm repeatedly hitting this cymbal. This is definitely going to hurt your shoulder after a while. There's no doubt about it. It happened to me, and it was so bad that I couldn't even lift my arm. Luckily, the doctor was able to fix me, and I think it must have been 2 weeks worth of adjustments. And then he gave me this exercise to do to prevent it from happening. And he told me to do this before I start playing. Very important. Of course, since then, I've moved that cymbal to my right so where I'm comfortable, like I explained in the last video. But I still do this exercise to avoid the injury. Okay? And it goes something like this. You take your arm, put it against the wall, and you move it up and down like this, exactly 12 times in this direction. Okay? And then you stop. The next thing you do is angle your arm downwards. If you can see that. See, my hand is against the wall. And now I'm going to be sort of like a windshield wiper. And I'm going to do this 12 times. And you see I'm going a little bit further than what's comfortable. And there's a reason for that. You want to stretch all the muscles in your shoulder and your biceps. So again, do this 12 times. You should feel a little bit of a strain in there, but it's good, as long as it's not too painful. Now, the last part of this shoulder exercise is to turn your body So now I'm facing the camera. Well, I'm facing the camera. I'm facing you. Put your arm up as it was in the previous position. And now we're going to wave our arm back while we look forward. So I'm looking forward and my arm is spanning the wall. Again, 12 times until you're comfortable. Now when you're done with that exercise, you should actually feel some sort of euphoria, sort of like a little high that your arm has stretched out. It's kind of like doing a few yoga exercises, which I'm going to show in a few minutes. But you should really feel it. You should feel much better. So, all right, collectively, we've done the feet, we've done the hands, we've done the shoulder, we've done the core. The next thing we're going to do is actually a side stretch. So again, we're going to use the wall. Put your hand on the wall and start to turn your body the opposite direction. So you see me turning my head this way. You don't have to do it for very long, but what you're doing is stretching your whole arm, bicep, and I forgot what muscle you call all this, your chest muscles. Whatever. I'm not a bodybuilder or fitness enthusiast. I'm just a dumb drummer. Okay, so I'm stretching all this. Do it with the other arm. So you see I have my arm here. I'm moving my body this way. I'm stretching that, and that's it. I think we've taken care of the upper body in that case, right? Besides the obvious, like rolling your head, rolling your shoulders. You're coming out of it. So the next portion of this will be on the floor. For this portion of the exercises and warm-ups, we're going to do something that's really rooted in yoga, but it was something that Dr. Williams taught me to prevent injuries that I've done to my lower back. And as I've mentioned before, I had a herniated disc and it was terrible. Like, I could barely move. I couldn't even walk. It was the worst thing I've ever dealt with. Now this exercise is going to relieve the tension from it and also prevent it in the future. This is one of these exercises. This is one of those exercises that I do right before I play. It's also an exercise that I do every morning just to be safe, just to prevent something like that from happening again. Because believe me, that was the worst. You don't want this kind of repetitive injury strain on your lower back from playing. And I truly believe this helps, because once I've been doing it, and once I've made sure that I'm always sitting on a stable drum throne, I've yet to have pain again, or I've yet to have this return to me again. All right, so the first part of the exercise is you're going to put your hands at your sides, and you're going to put your forehead on the floor. Okay? And you're going to slowly lift your upper body like this and keep it suspended for 3 seconds. Your behind, your legs, everything should be relaxed. And then you're going to slowly bring yourself down to the starting position. So again, bring yourself up, only using your arms, and everything else should be relaxed. Hold it for 3 seconds and come down. Slowly. Okay, now this exercise, I do it 10 times every day. All right, so that's just 10 times your forehead meeting the floor. That's the basics of the floor exercises I'm talking about. But what I do is, when you come out of this exercise, you're going to do a yoga-inspired exercise. Actually, it is yoga, and this is something that Dr. Williams taught me. It's called the cat-cow. It's a combination of 2 yoga poses. So once you're done doing your, stretches like this and your forehead hitting the ground. You bring yourself up. And the first part of this is called, I believe, the cow. So you breathe in, deep breath, and your back should be up in the air, and then you breathe out. And then your back is now arched, as you can see. So again, breathe in, breathe out. It should be completely relaxed. You should try to do this as slowly as possible. So I'm going to do it one more time. Breathe in. Back is up. Breathe out slowly. And notice as I'm coming down or breathing out, my elbows are going back, my hindquarters are going back. It's sort of like I'm leaning back, but for some reason it helps relieve the strain on my spine. It feels like everything is just being released. And when I come out of this completely, I am completely relaxed, almost euphoric. It's like a sort of high. But I believe this is truly instrumental in keeping the tension on your back low, the tension actually on your whole spine low. And when you're playing correctly, seated upright, chest out, and calm, you're probably going to have a good session and avoid injury. So that's it for the stretching part on the floor. The next will be the stretching part that affects your playing on the drum throne. Okay, this last one is mainly aimed at metal guys who are playing double bass constantly. This is something I do in my band Pierced. Sometimes, speeds at 180 or more. One of the main things is having stamina, and also, and it's like a term called not gassing out too quickly. And that means if you're not properly stretched, if you're not comfortable, if you're not loose and calm, you're going to gas out. You're going to run out of steam, whatever you want to call it. So here's an exercise Dr. Williams taught me. And this is mainly so that, again, I have the stamina to do it, and also so that I don't end up having pain in my hips and my lower back. Because when I had that problem with the herniated disc, I noticed that I couldn't play as fast as I could before, or I would run out of steam really quick. So this exercise he taught me first energizes the muscles involved and loosens them up, because they will stiffen up. And he also told me that when I'm done playing, to do the exact same exercise so that the next day I'm not in pain. All right. So we're going to start it with my right knee is on the floor. My left foot is out a bit, but you notice it's angled outwards. I'm straight up. I was told to strengthen or flex your abdominal muscles. Put your right arm up, and it's easy to remember. Right arm is up, left foot is out. And then with your stomach muscles flexed, move forward a bit like this. And you'll be able to feel the strain in your thigh and your hips, your abdomen. Just hold it there for a few seconds to where you're comfortable. Breathe nice. Breathe easily. And that's it. Switch. Right leg is up, outward. Left arm is up. Flex your abdomen. Lean forward. Not too fast. And you'll feel the same tension in your thigh. And that's it. As far as I'm concerned, or based on my experience doing this, after all those stretches, you're ready to go. If you have any questions about this, you can send me an email directly. The information's on my YouTube channel. Consult other videos, or check me out on social media at on Facebook. You can go to Pierce the Band. It's pretty much all there, or josephdiacqui.com. Thank you very much for watching.